I'm stoked for the game, guys. The audio, the sound is on. Yeah, let's get it.
Don't want the innocent to suffer? Then help me find the culprit.
2 hours isn't enough time to see all the branching
Wow,
stories,
is that all they
admire
got?
all the beautiful graphics, and discover all the secrets within the world of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2.
Who sent you? Richter?
But it is enough to be left impressed. When I wasn't taking stock of my paltry ammunition levels and hunger gauge, I was looking out at beautiful fields of red poppy flowers. When I wasn't getting distracted by an interesting...
I mean, right away. It's so beautiful. Look at the graphics. I mean, this is gonna be one hell of a game to play through, guys.
Side quest. I was doing my best to lure mutants into an anomaly trap. And while it was over, just when it felt like it was getting extra good, it had still left its impression. The impression that the team at GSC Game World has created something special with S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2.
They got 2 hours. And that's not much.
I will preface all this by admitting that I am not a S.T.A.L.K.E.R expert, meaning I have not played the 2009 hits, but I probably should be because I am a huge fan of games that offer us various options for dealing with a story scenario, especially those where one seemingly small decision can have effects that ripple through the rest of your playthrough. That's what this series, which began with 2007's Shadow of Chernobyl, and was...
But I didn't know. Do we have choices in the games? I didn't know. Okay, this... Playing the first ones just got high on my list. If they are like that, yeah, they bumped up on the list.
Built on in Call of Pripyat in 2009, is best known for, and it's what struck me the most from my handful of hours with S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. I kept thinking about those decisions I had made and wondering if I had made a mistake by choosing a violent, guns blazing approach, and wondering if I should have tried a stealthy or even fully peaceful one. But S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 takes it several steps further. There are times you'll have NPCs abruptly end a quest without rewarding you because you've looted the body of their dead friend, for example.
Look at that! Huh?
Have that happen a couple of times and it'll give you pause even when you're doing the kind of routine task that you normally wouldn't even think about.
Suddenly, the voice of Monolith was gone. I felt as if I was awakening from a years-long coma.
Our demo began with that Enter the Zone trailer cinematic before we were unleashed into a small field area covered by the darkness of night where we were hunting for anomalies. These are dangerous areas that have been disturbed in the irradiated area and can reveal powerful artifacts with special attributes on them. And on the graphics front, for both PC and Xbox, these areas look stunning on both platforms.
Скіфе, радий тебе бачити, друже.
I'm just so in awe on how they get, like, it's... the graphics are so good. The gunplay looks awesome. The weight of the gun...
This introductory sequence introduces us to Skiff. While we still don't know much about Skiff, we did learn that he seems to be well versed with the new technology of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, such as the Gilka 1 detector that you can flip open and use to search for artifacts as it beeps louder and louder when approaching the correct area. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 artifacts are basically small objects that give you benefits like a faster stamina recharge.
Basically.
While attempting to plant and charge a separate larger Topaz scanner at 3 such anomaly locations, I'll yada 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 over some spoilers here, because after a dramatic moment we wind up in the open world section of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 where our journey really begins.
Reminds
with
me
a main
of
quest that we quickly
Fallout.
find, sending us on a search for an individual named Squint. But before tackling that Squint questline, I was surprised by just how much could happen in the open world. One example was an encounter with some unsavory folks trying to attack a character bunkered down in their home. All of our footage was provided, so I'll do my best to replicate that with what we were given. Anyway, once I took them out by sneaking around behind them and making quick work of them with a sidearm shot to the noggin, I was introduced to a new NPC character. And on the animation for a second, no matter who you meet in S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Like when he moves, you see the gun just moving as he moves, and this shot, like the flames does look good. But apart from that, yes. You should watch the story of the developers. It is awesome. They were making the game when Russia attacked Ukraine. That's where they all lived. Yeah, I saw. I didn't see the video, but I saw something about it. Yeah, definitely.
Or 2, the character models express emotion, and the somber mood is on full display as you sit around campfires on a brief break. This particular new character, however, sent me on a quest to check on his friend, and a chain of other small quests unlocked because I opted to help this one individual who I could have simply walked past had I been mainlining the story mission.
Oof.
I found it interesting because it was an early example of how one small side quest could begin branching out into a larger and more involved story beat that I could have easily missed.
I mean... Huh?
Not only are there human enemies to worry about, which usually have your standard arsenal, but there are also larger, more unpredictable flesh mutants and bloodsuckers who are extra deadly and can make short work of you if you're not careful.
Come on, get him!
And there's fields of poppy flowers to navigate, the latter of which sounds quite nice, but will put you to sleep forever if you wander too far off the main pathways.
Ooh.
You can't rest now, we're nearly there.
Not only does this keep combat and the wastelands of the exclusion zone interesting, but it also offers moments of awe as you look out at the beautiful red sea of poppy flowers, knowing you'll need to go in there and carefully navigate it to complete your objective. All that said, when I did finally...
I mean, yeah, I don't know if are we playing the same character as from the first main game? Because now I really want to play the trilogy before we play this. I already pre-downloaded. Can you pre-download it now? When does it come out? I thought it came out next year.
Find Squint, I was given 2 options. Confront him with violence and head back to base, or help him survive and be sent on a completely different story branch with him. At first, I took the violent approach, but when I realized it felt a bit anticlimactic to end the journey with a gunfight, so I loaded up a save just before the encounter and went the other way.
Okay.
I couldn't help but remember the hundreds of hours I played Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, some of my favorite games ever, and experienced that same lingering doubt as to whether or not I made the right decision in a given situation.
Okay, that's a
S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
good
2
thing.
had just evoked that same emotion in a 2-hour game session. It may not be special, and a lot of games have used it.
I mean, everything he talks about happened in the first 2 hours. First 2 hours. This is gonna be one hell of a game.
This before, but I hadn't realized how much I missed this level of nuance. While games like Cyberpunk offered interesting beats to explore, a lot of the stories wound up at the same place. I'm left hopeful that the branching paths can result in some wildly different results in S.T.A.L.K.E.R. 2's case. This brief session with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. 2, which seemed to start us at the very beginning of the game, reminded me just how great a branching style of storytelling can be from a gameplay perspective. Specifically when it's interwoven as it has been here with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. 2.
Oof.
I can't wait to see what else is in store for the full experience, and I'm able to discover just how far things can unravel. Beyond the branches of storytelling you can explore and the pretty graphics, I also found it really refreshing to be challenged with managing resources like ammunition and food to ensure survival. If you don't...
Hold on. You have to eat to survive? Is that... Do you have to do that in the first one too? Wow. November 20th? Whoa, next month? Next month? Woo! Yeah. Yeah. Isn't this on Game Pass? Day 1? Damn. Yes!
Eat enough, you'll fatigue easier, and that means worse aim or less stamina, which you can use to navigate a conflict by, say, running away if you want to. If you run out of bullets, your knife probably won't cut it in many situations, but you can try to instead use the environment to your advantage by luring your opponents into an anomaly. This kind of resource management lends nicely to the overall feeling this oppressive world is trying to convey, and it reminds me that every fight should be considered a calculated risk. Do I unload with my AK ammo that I'm very short on, or do I try and use a bit of stealth here? Can I get away with using a pistol, or do I need to get extra aggressive with these bigger enemies? Do I tackle this during the night when I can use darkness to my advantage, or would I rather use the sunlight to my advantage for clearer sight? The fact that the designers at GSC Game World
is awesome. Oh, I love this. This is what we talked about. A game where you decide what to do and make a strategy out of that and just go ahead, do whatever you want, tackle the mission however you want, and hopefully it won't be like text here and there. Do this, do this. Okay, yeah.
World have struck a balance with how much they give you, at least early on, with the scenarios you're put in, makes it feel like it's in a great spot right now. Hopefully this sticks for the rest of Stalker 2 and you don't become overpowered by the end of the campaign, because this feeling of desperation is what it's all about.
Oof.
I wonder what's out there. Eternal Spring? The Klondike of artifacts? A new home?
I'm left with eagerness to get back into the world and see what other trouble Skiff gets into. Even though November 20th is right around the corner, Stalker 2 can't come soon enough. In the meantime, check out the Stalker 2 gameplay, and for more on all things gaming, keep it right here at IGN.
Yeah, I want to play this. Damn.